Hello everyone, I'm Jack Fisher and welcome to my world. Now first, I want to start this video by wishing all my fellow Americans a happy 4th of July. Now I understand that not all my audience is American, and I hope those watching from other countries will still bear with me, because I believe this message applies to them as well. And I feel it's an important message, especially on a day like this. Now, I freely admit that I'm a proud American. I really do love my country. And in that respect, I do consider myself a patriot. At the same time, I'm a fan of romance. And I like to think I genuinely appreciate the power of love. But as a result, I believe my understanding of love has had a substantial impact on my understanding of patriotism. Because you can look up the definition of patriotism and love to get a basic understanding of the concepts, and most people of average intelligence can readily grasp that concept. But a basic understanding will only take you so far. For both patriotism and love, the basics are shallow and skin deep. It can only ever scratch the surface of a much deeper feeling. So, in the spirit of the 4th of July, America's most patriotic holiday, I like to share my understanding of what it means to be patriotic and to love your country. Now, I won't bemoan current events or the people, politics, and ideology behind them. Regardless of how you feel about that, love and patriotism go beyond all those issues. I'm not saying we should ignore those things. We really shouldn't, especially the ones that are damaging and destructive. But a big part of love and patriotism is recognizing every factor that influences your country, good and bad. Because you see, to love your country is not unlike loving your family. You didn't choose the time, place, or circumstances of your birth, nor did you choose the flaws and frailties of those within your family. You came into it vulnerable and unaware, only having them as a frame of reference of what it means to be part of that family. So you grow up in it with their support, guidance, and values. Ideally, your family seeks to protect you and you seek to learn from them. Unfortunately, the situation is not always ideal. Sometimes the same family that you love dearly will instill objectively negative influences. And they can enable someone's worst traits, every bit as it can inspire their best. But that still doesn't stop you from loving your family, just as it doesn't stop you from loving your country. And later on in life, you may seek a different kind of love, one that isn't so basic or given. You find yourself looking for that special someone who you can love with all your heart, and who will love you back in return. It's not an easy search, and you're bound to endure loss, heartache, and disappointment along the way, but you keep on searching. You endure those missteps and mishaps because that feeling is just so powerful. Then, when you eventually find that love, you really appreciate its power. It fills you with such energy, passion, and resolve. You come to cherish it. You're willing to fight to protect it at all costs. And many of us genuinely admire that kind of drive in others. We even cling to it as it becomes part of our identity. This kind of love is very similar to patriotism. Our love for our country is very much an extension of our love for our family. The same energy that drives us to love, cherish, and protect our loved ones also drives us to do the same for our country. Many Americans share that feeling. It shows when times are tough, be they economic hardships or world wars. But, like with the love we have for our families and spouses, it can blind us at times. Because there's a very fine line between genuine love and unhealthy obsession. By that same token, there's also a very fine line between patriotism and blind loyalty. One is healthy and productive. The other is toxic and damaging. Because a big part of loving someone is not ignoring their flaws. When they're wrong, you point it out. And when they're doing something that's seriously destructive, you try to stop them. And when they're wounded, lost, or angry, You try to help them, even if they resent you for it. But that's what you do for someone you love. And that's also what you do for your country. The United States of America is a wonderful place, full of many wonderful people. But it's not perfect. And anyone who says otherwise is mistaking patriotism for willful ignorance. The history of this country has had many dark moments. Both the government and large swaths of its citizens have been wrong, unjust, and misguided on many subjects since its founding. Ignoring that isn't an act of love or patriotism. If anything, it's the exact opposite. You don't let someone you love keep doing what you know to be wrong. You don't let someone you love descend into toxic, self-destructive cycles. You don't let someone you love forget their mistakes and thereby never learn from them. That same sentiment applies to your country. To love it is also to accept its flaws. To love it is to want to see it get better. Like the people we love in our lives, we want them to become the best versions of themselves. Again, it's challenging and even daunting at times. Those we love may even resist our efforts, even when we have their best interests at heart. But again, we endure all that because that's what we do for someone we love. As a patriot, you want your country to be the best it can be. That's exactly what I want for the United States of America. And that's why I celebrate every 4th of July holiday. I understand that not everyone has the same vision for this country as I do. Some actively pursue a vision that is utterly antithetical to the ideals it was founded upon. Those people are not patriots because they aren't guided by love. They're guided by selfishness, ego, hatred, and cruelty. And in both love and patriotism, you just can't be that selfish. And you can't be guided by hate or malice. You have to be willing to do what's right and difficult over what's selfish and expedient. And, like it or not, you and those you love will make mistakes. Everybody does. We are all flawed, imperfect human beings. Every country, including America, is made up of those same imperfect beings. But that's why we keep striving to be better. Like any good, loving relationship, you encourage those you love to be better with you. You work together, but not by always agreeing on everything or avoiding conflict, past and present. True love and true patriotism is a willingness to take the bad with the good and confront both. And from it, you can forge a path towards a better future. This is a perspective that has always been crucial for patriotic Americans. After over 200 years, we've had plenty of time to grow and mature. And we also have to face facts. We are not a young country anymore. We can't overlook that history is littered with empires, nations, and societies that collapsed. We're one of the most powerful nations on the planet at the moment. And with that power comes responsibility. We must never forget that. So I ask that my fellow Americans keep all this in mind as they celebrate this wonderful country. Each year brings a new challenge for us all. Let's be willing to face it. But let us do so while remembering what it truly means to love our country as true patriots. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for joining me in my world. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and God bless America.